Hey guys, this here is Getaway Driver 101. Today I'm going to be giving y'all a demonstration with CurseForge on what you should know when it comes to Minecraft and trying to mod not just Minecraft but other games in general and how mods work. I guess there's some things about CurseForge that people forget or maybe don't know. So here's what I'm going to demonstrate for y'all today. So let's say you're doing Minecraft. Let's say you're a Minecraft player and you're having issues with your game physically working. Now, as a demonstration, I'll give you a demonstration of my mod pack. So as you can see, I have these mods, right? All of these mods. So here's what the logs look like when it comes to issues with the game. Now, you can have all kinds of problems with the game itself not wanting to load. But as long as you look at these logs will tell you where your error codes are coming from. Now, usually what you want to do is you want to start fresh. So you're going to go there, you're going to go back, reload it. So it's right here. You're going to, when you launch it, I'll demonstrate. When it launches, it'll start logging. Let's give it just a second. There it goes. Now, this is what you should be paying attention to whenever you're first booting up the game. So this is the time. This is how long it's running for. So it's encountering some errors. It corrected them. It may encounter other errors and then correct them. It has the ability to debug itself, but there is a chance that you could hit um, a certain bug where the game itself can't debug it. And that bug may be related between the game and Windows. Let's say you're on Windows 10 and the mod pack worked on a Windows 7, but it doesn't work on the Windows 10. That can happen. Windows 10 can have the same problem with Windows 11. Windows 11, you have a certain mod pack for some reason that doesn't want to work on Windows 10, but yet every other mod pack works on 10 and 11. And those kind of bugs are hard to figure out. Encounter these bugs and correct them and reboot them and so on and so forth. It's not impossible to fix the game. So I'm going to demonstrate what usually happens when you have an incorrect mod pack downloaded. So what you want to look at from here, you want to look at author and ENG and what is active. If all of them are active, go through and uncheck them all first. Start there, start simple. Uncheck them all, click play. If you uncheck everything and it works with everything unchecked, so like let's say I start a new one, create, let's say I call it profile and let's say I base it off of 21.5. Okay. And the newest Forge model. Okay. And I'm just going to call it profile in. You can rename them. Renaming them can be a little difficult if you don't know how to fix the profile. So now that it's downloading V1 21.5 package. Now, from there you go and pick your mods, whatever. There can be mods that are broken. If one, say you're going through and you're installing all kinds of mod packs, and you're like, oh wow, these are pretty cool, and you think they're all gonna do what you want them to do, and once you get them all installed and everything, you expect them to work. I'm gonna demonstrate in just a second. Let's just go with that. I don't want to download too many just in case if a few of them are spoofed or whatnot. Now I got a very good antivirus engine, so I'm not too worried about that. But anything can happen because there's ads on the side, and I have an ad blocker. And sometimes ad blockers with third-party applications, they don't really seem to notice it for some reason. Yeah. Technology, fun. Allocate more memory to it. Sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need to go into the settings of CurseForge and give CurseForge more memory allocation, which you go here, go to game settings. There's a few other features in CurseForge. You can go down here and go to settings, and then from there, once you have relatively everything installed and you have your memory, now you don't want to give it full memory. You want to, yeah. When you allocate more memory to the game, you don't want to give it so much memory that it's going to eat at everything. But it doesn't hurt to give it a little extra. Now, I recommend, like, if you're running 32 gigs, don't give it no more than like 10% or 20%. This here's about 25%. Once you get about 25% or higher, you're using memory for the game, you're using memory for the windows, you're using memory for whatever updates or applications are running in the background, and then from there it just it can cause you to lose. I don't know why that was like that. That's interesting. Okay, so now we're gonna hit play, and here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna say downloading libraries. It's gonna do all this stuff, and then it's probably gonna crash. Now let's look at the logs. No logs yet. Now, when it comes to modding, you want to start when you hit, like, let's say about 50 or 60 mods on a mod pack. You want to start adding one mod at a time and testing the game one at a time. And the reason for that, wow. The reason for that is because if you're not checking it one at a time, see right there, error. And there's times where it will do this and it will load the game with the error and it will tell you the error and all the errors from the game and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, it has my email there for my Microsoft account. so it says create a secure JR. So that's what you gotta watch for. If it's doing things like this doesn't mean that there's a virus or anything. This just means that it's a bug. It's a physical bug that's there, and you just bugs are bugs. They can be frustrating and annoying to fix. So when you have a bug like this, I recommend just starting simple. You go and find this mod pack. So it says luscious biomes. Is that a data pack? No. And then from there, you just kind of lush biomes. So right there's one. Paintings. So that's why you turn them off. You start turning them off, and you'll start realizing which ones are which. So we got. I just got rid of lush biomes. Now I'm looking for painting O, right there. So now I can turn all these ones on. So check this out. So lush biomes, got that one gone. Now we're gonna look for starter kit. Because Minecraft already has a starter kit. There is no such starter kit that you need if the game already has a bonus treasure box. So that there was already probably flagged the moment it was put on CurseForge, and CurseForge has probably got it blocked. That could be a potential, it could be something legit. It could be a good mod. It could be a good modder. There could have just been an issue with his pack. The game being very loud. Let's go ahead and kill it. And let's launch it again. And this is what you gotta do. You just kind of gotta play, launch, unlaunch, launch, unlaunch, and you'll eventually find all the packs that are not cooperating together. 2. So now there's just 2 left. So it is just that. So now we're gonna look for the starter kit. So it's just the only one that's left. Starter kit. Starter kit. starter kit right there. So see, it was like right in front of my face, and I didn't see it and kill it. Play again. And this is the whole point in logging. And so this is an easier way to fix the game. Now let's say your whole application doesn't boot up, because there's going to be occasions where you may download a mod and it may break the entire application. So for some reason it says that I do not have a Microsoft JRC user, blah blah, CurseForge, Minecraft, Instinct, blah blah, in mods, only. Deflated entries can only exit. So see, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet. So I wonder if that's all this stuff. So let me go to my other mod pack. Okay. And this is like, sometimes you gotta download other mod packs to find out if it's... No, because mine booted up actually at the beginning. So I already know that one works. So this one here has something to do with a Microsoft account. Now, that's where you're going to go through and start turning stuff off. Because sometimes Mario EXE... That sounds bad. That sounds ominous. So now we're going to start with just those off. And see if the game's going to work correctly. See if it launches correctly. And so on and so forth. And see it close down. Now that right there tells me that there's an actual problem with the application now. Now that there could have been a number of things. Vault. So right here, it was something to do with the Vulture pack. So we're going to go through and just turn off a few more. You gotta start simple. So now this time the application opened. The application seems like it's booting. And this time it says it wants me to contact this so-called modder. This is the kind of stuff you gotta watch for. You shouldn't have to do that. This stuff here is a good way that you get scammed and people get your information. Now, I'm not saying that that would happen. So this here is probably the mod that's broke. Right here. So this mod, I'm going to kill. Boop, delete, play. So that's why I'm trying to show people here how to watch for malicious mod packs with games. Now, that doesn't mean that there's a virus with them. That doesn't mean that they're infected. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means that there is a physical problem with their pack that could impact everything on your computer. And you just got to be careful. So we're going to turn all of them off now. All of them. So now we turned all of them off. We're going to start there. Make sure it's, maybe it's a data pack. Maybe it's not a mod pack. Maybe it's a whole data pack. Could be the new CurseForge profile. Sometimes the profiles get corrupted. Okay.
Enter to enable the narrator.
So it booted this time. This time now we know the game is not the problem. We know it's not the Microsoft account. It tried to say it was the Microsoft account, and it wasn't. And that's why you gotta watch for stuff, because you can get phished. They can phish your information. Next thing you know, you're getting, basically, not saying that you'd get hacked, but you'd basically get hacked that way. You gotta be very careful with this stuff. So we're gonna start simple. We're gonna turn 2 of them on. Kill Instinct. Turn it on. Boot it up. And most of your mods should work without needing all them special BS. You should be able to boot the game up and the game launch. Right there. That's a good... So those 2 mods there are fine. These 2 are good. So I'm going to leave those 2 on. Now we're going to turn on this one. Kill Instinct. Play. So now we have 3. And you're gonna do this all the way down until you get to however many number of mods you want on your application. Before you play your game, Once you hit, let's say, 100 mods, let's say your goal is to have 100 on the application. Once you have 100 of them on the application, then you can determine which mods were good and which ones were bad. And from there, you can kind of see, okay, this person here, I got a bad mod from. And these mods can blue screen your PC, just to give you a heads up. It's very rare to have a game blue screen your computer, but it happens. So right here, I just enabled the mods in the game. This is a good example. Now the mods are enabled. So when it comes to setting a mod pack up, you have to start slow at adding items. Now, so let's say now that I just updated it, and let's say now all of a sudden my mod pack doesn't work, I'm going to have to go look for those mods that I just updated. That can be a little bit more annoying. So this is 1.21.4. So this here is one version behind the one that I was setting up on 1.21.5. So you can set up different versions of your mod packs. You don't have to have them all be the same version. And that's fine if you do that, but sometimes that you have to be cautious. Like, you never know. So this mod pack booted up. I already got a resource pack. And these here, when they're red, that means that they'll work if they can be moved over, but it's going to give you a warning that it may crash your computer, it may crash your game. If they're red, you're probably better off not using them or deleting them. Very interesting how these came undone. So mod packs, you also want to try to group together like your best of the best, group together like your 3D, or if you're doing other stuff, you want to group them together because it lets the game have a better chance at working correctly. Now, I'm going to also do this just to give y'all a demonstration. So the alter Java texture. That there's a resource pack. And you're gonna have some mod packs eventually that just quit working, and that's normal. So it's always good to keep, more than one of a similar mod if you have to do that, as a way to basically like keep your worlds from not looking so bad, or keep your mods from not being as glitchy. Now, does that always work? No. Am I blind? Realistic mobs. Wasn't that one? Yep. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that one. Enhanced. There you go. So that there's a good demonstration to show of what you may have to go through to set your game up properly. Now, when you do that, you're going to hit done once your mods are set up how you like. Now, let's say you boot into a world and your trees have no tree and your grass has no grass. That's fixable. You can either go find another mod to apply on top of your texture, or you can go through the orientation of the mods and see if the mod orientation is incorrect. So we're going to create new world. Yada, yada, yada. Just kind of giving y'all a demonstration. Now, the more mods you run, the more aggressive your computer is going to run, the more strain you're going to put on it, the more everything. It's just, Minecraft is a very good game to mod, but you're also going to need to keep track of what mods do what. So right here is a good example. You see my grass? Broken. Why is it broken? Well, easy. Go in. Could be that this here is at the top. So maybe this one here is in the wrong orientation, which I'm going to be straight up honest with y'all. It is. So this one here has got to be below my grass physics. And that's why I said there's also certain orientations that you want to set them in. That's why I recommend that if you're going to build a mod pack, you have a good long time that you trial and test. So right here is a good point to set this. So it's right here. Here's all the leaves, contrast. Boop. And that's why you want to build, like, when you have a menu set up, you want to build your menu with the setup. But if you want to keep the title a certain way or the contrast a certain way, those have to be higher than the texture pack. Your texture pack is one of those things that physically can change the entire game depending on where its location is in the mod pack. So I got these really nice trees with the basic Minecraft grass with extra add-ons. Trees have extra add-ons, got different kinds of owls. And as you can see, I have heat, I have physics, I have other kinds of physics. Now that also works for being under the world, and that also means you can die very easily if you're not careful. Yeah, let me get away from those. Now, depending on how your mods are set up, they may put a lot of strain on your computer, so something to keep in mind, some mods will add extra settings to the whole menu of the entire game, and that's when you can go into those and you can modify how the game itself is responding with your cores, how the game is responding with uptime and downtime, how it's responding with physics, speed, all that stuff. And you can change everything you want to change with all because you downloaded a mod. Now this mod pack is the golden pack. This is a pack I've been working on for a few months. It's really nice. It's got a lot of different animals. The animals also have different faces, different colors. Every biome will have somewhat of a different version of that animal. So, like, for instance, those sheep are those. I go over here. And this sheep is... Okay. There's a basic Minecraft cow. And there's other kinds of cows, too. So, like, the mods, if you set them up just right, you can have so many different things in your world that your world is just fun. You can go do stuff. Now, me, I actually sit and enjoyed the time that I spent building this pack. Um, I don't know if I can consider it completed, but it's basically completed. Um, maybe not. Dogs look broke. Ow. Why are you broken? So that's why it's a good thing to always inspect your worlds before, like, assuming they're done. Oh, it was probably... It's always good if they have somewhat of a picture. Doesn't really mean that the pack works. So it's always nice when you can download a resource pack and you can just use it. And right there, I can use it. So now that resource pack should work. Should fix the wolves. The wolves should no longer be broke. Probably should move the resource pack somewhere else inside the mod pack. But it is what it is. I put it as top number 1, and the wolves are fixed. So now I'm going to move it down. And, with like extra animal stuff, you can kind of put it where you want. Let's say I go there. Like, for instance, I had all the awesome mods. Lanterns were broken. So I went and found a mod for lanterns. Specifically for lanterns. There we go. So now they're fixed. So that there was a good demonstration that you can do of an in-game fix. You don't have to necessarily quit the application every single time. And so wolves are now fixed. You come across mobs that are broken. You can use those to fix other textures that are broken. And I like mod packs and resource packs that allow you just to change one texture. To me, that is like a game changer for modding. Because of things that like you just saw. The dog was basically broken up in segments of line, and all I did was apply a texture on a higher totem pole, and it seemed to fix it for the dogs. So right there is a good demonstration of these lanterns. They're off, or no? I guess those ain't lanterns. So there you go. There's a good demonstration of what a mod can do if you're not careful. Now, to fix that, let's say you have a mod that's that insane. You just go ahead and find collapse. Set it to 8 blocks. Okay, so there's a mob in there that's got a broken texture. Um, don't really know what mob it is. Now, it could just be the mob physically, the texture from inside that. It may not be an outside mob texture. There's not going to be a such thing as a perfect mob, a mod pack. So that's why I said before, when it comes to mods, trying to fix them and get them working properly is not easy. Especially if you don't really know what you're trying to fix or something. What is this place? Well, basically what I did. Didn't even mean to. Just demolished it. Oops. 5 half-built structure. See my little ball in the center of the screen? right above my numbers. Oh, y'all are a smaller sheep. So yeah, that's how you get a mod pack working. And this is how you get your mod pack functioning and how you beta test it and how you make sure that everything works correctly and that you don't have a mod pack that's broken. Um, just make sure you test it out, make sure you test all the mods, you never know. Hopefully this helped y'all get y'all's game working or get y'all's mods working. Hopefully this also helped you figure out which mods are probably good or bad, because not all mods are going to be good and not all mods are going to be bad. You just got to make sure you go through them and you figure out which ones are doing what. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Like or subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.